Hey guys, this is Multiverse Nerds. You're watching Geek Gossip. I'm Russ.
And I'm Rob. Welcome to our world. Today we're going to review a game we've been playing a lot lately. It's one of my favorites, Marvel Legendary. And the game we're doing today is our Legendary Paint the Town Red. It's based off of a Spider-Man themed expansion. You get your 2 new masterminds, 4 new schemes, 5 new playable heroes. What'd you think?
I thought it was okay. One of the huge things that I loved about this release was Carnage and Mysterio as the masterminds.
Yes.
And then with each, you've got Carnage leading Maximum Carnage. And then a huge thing I really loved was seeing Mysterio leading the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really well done touch. And then aside from that, it kind of starts going downhill. I like the schemes. The schemes were pretty inventive, which after this being the 4th release, the schemes still being inventive, I give them a lot of credit. They're keeping it fresh. They're keeping it new. The heroes is really where I lost a lot of heart. Like you said it yourself, it's a Spider-Man themed release. 2 of the heroes in there almost have nothing to do with Spider-Man.
I mean, you have Moon Knight. Well, let's go to the heroes. We had the symbiote Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Black Cat, Spider-Woman, and Moon Knight. The latter were the 2 you're talking
Absolutely.
about. Moon Knight missed a spot in Dark City with their Marvel Knight theme.
I agree.
He's a Marvel Knight. Doesn't really fit. They gave him the wall crawl. That doesn't really help with him. He's not a Spider-Man themed character.
Right.
He doesn't even have the Spider-Man themed, symbol to go like a team thing. Spider-Woman, I mean, even in the comics, she's not related to Spider-Man. They don't get their powers the same way. They're not even close to being the same powers anyway. She's theoretically not Spider-Man-esque. Scarlet Spider, Symbiote Spider-Man, still have that. That worked out. Black Cat, she's kind of like hero, not hero, hero. Fights alongside him, still a pain in his neck, I'm with you, I don't get the other 2. Why couldn't they have just brought in 2 other suits? Just throw Black Cat out too. Just make it a flat out Spider-Man, different suits, because he has so many. The Iron Spider-Man, the one where he's the black and gray like an armored Spider-Man.
Or Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, wonderful choices. I mean, I'm with you, the heroes weren't there. But, like you were saying, they brought it down, but you had the villains. Let's talk about them. What do you think?
I love the fact, harking back to my love for the Masterminds, Mysterio and Carnage both use the Master Strike abilities to the fullest. One, my biggest complaint from all the other releases were that most of the Master Strikes on the Masterminds, they can be avoided.
Yep.
I don't like that. They shouldn't be able to be avoided when there's only 5 in the villain deck. Carnage, the Feast capability, is so massively powered. And what's great about it is it's powered late game just as well as early game. I remember in one of our playthroughs, I got hit with Endless Hunger Carnage, which feasts on the top card of your deck. Feasting, by the way, is it destroys the top card of your deck.
Yep.
And then furthermore, on the Endless Hunger version, if it's a 0 cost or gray hero, you gain a wound and then continue the process. I think it was turn 3 that it hit me, and it decked me out of 8 cards, so I gained 8 wounds in 1 turn. That is crazy powerful. And then with
also hurt you later on because you couldn't buy anything. You were stuck with the same 6 cards.
For 3 consecutive turns, I did nothing just so I could remove wounds from my deck.
Yeah. That
was really good. And I know we played a 2-player game previously where the Feast capability was so heavy on us because we were building our decks up, and we were deathly afraid of what we were going to start losing.
Yep. Especially with the wall crawl. The Feast is sick nasty, flat out. But when you put the wall crawl and you put it on top of your deck, if a Master Strike comes out, that card is gone. You just spent all, I'm trying to set up my next turn, it's going to be awesome, gone on a Feast.
Yeah, I love the fact that Carnage's Master Strike capability is universally awesome. put up against, say, Magneto.
Yeah.
You start building an X-Men team, Magneto's Master Strike no longer means anything to you.
Nope.
So I was really happy about that. But with this release, I definitely harken back to something that I've thought about since the very initial release. There needs to be a capability of more Master Strikes in the villain deck than just the 5.
Yeah, because I mean, they do that with the schemes, the scheme twist. That is, you know, the scheme, depending on how many, what the scheme is, it can go from 7 to 12 scheme twists in the deck.
And it's even written in the rulebook that in order to make the game a little more difficult, you can add in additional scheme twists if you want to.
Why can't we can't do that with Master Strikes? Because they've given us 5 the whole time.
Right, and you know they never gave us more for Dark City or any of the
Fantastic Four.
Right, and I mean you could easily just house rule those in, but they never released any more Master Strike cards.
Kind of like the dividers for your cards. Not
Oh
releasing
yeah,
them.
huge problem Upper Deck.
Good
Start
job.
releasing more dividers because literally after Dark City you have no left. Actually, even in Dark City, you run out.
Yeah, you do. You can't even fill them the way we fill them. Like I put, just to save some space, I put the mastermind with who they lead in the same one, just so I know where they're at and put it on that label. They're not. You know, we have to write on them and make them, you know, what we need them. They're not already predetermined. I don't like that. But yet you can go on their website and buy them for an additional price.
Yeah, I don't like that when you know they're releasing these small 100 card sets.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, no additional dividers. I've run into the problem now where in my set I'm having to literally categorize them as groups.
Yep.
Like you know, all of my Marvel Knights are all together. So whenever I'm drafting out Marvel Knights, I got to pull out the whole stack and start searching through them. It's so time consuming, and it's not a good heart to the fans from Upper Deck.
That's true.
So I would really like to see future larger sets like Dark City. I mean, seriously, just print off 20 or 30 of them. Like, throw us a bone here. I don't think people who are buying 4 products from you guys should have to buy additional dividers. I mean, that's just like, heck with you guys, give us money.
I know, the games are amazing, that's what stinks. People are going to buy them. I'm buying every set that comes out, minus a few that are coming up, just because it's not going with their theme. But the problem is, they're not giving the fans what they need for the games, you know? I sleeve all mine, it takes up a lot of room in the boxes. Eventually, I'm going to run out of room, and this is what I'm going to have left. Little boxes like that, I'm not sticking teams in there.
Once you generally sleeve this, and a lot of deck builders generally people sleeve because you are shuffling the cards consistently, they're going to get damaged.
Yes.
Once you sleeve these cards, this box is completely useless.
Gone.
It's trash.
People also got to understand, I mean, when we review this is an expansion. You cannot just pick this up, spend the $16, and play. You have to have the main legendary set.
Right. Both this, the Fantastic Four, and then Dark City, they're not playable by themselves.
Nope.
You still have to own this.
Yep.
Which, so, Legendary itself is, what?
I mean,
$40, $50.
I think honestly, it retails $60. I mean, your local game stores might sell a little bit cheaper, just to help out.
And it has been out for a little while.
Yeah, and it's been out for a while.
So, like, you have that, and then in order to play anything else, that's an additional, these are, what, 20 a piece?
Those are 20, yeah.
And then this one, I think, was 40?
Yeah, that one's a little bit more
So-
because it came with the bigger box and
So,
components.
I mean, just with these, it's $100 drop if you're paying full retail, and you don't even get enough dividers just for these 2.
Nope.
You have to pay an additional fee for the dividers. I do not like that.
$9.99 online at Upper Deck. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
Um,
But let's get back to the game itself. I mean, Upper Deck, yeah, we'll harp on them all day. Let's talk about Mysterio. We hit Carnage. We need to start hitting Mysterio. The Feast mechanic was amazing. Maximum Carnage, awesome. That group, good. Now let's hit Mysterio. He has the Sinister Six with him. Sandman, when did he become so powerful?
yeah, his ability is amazing.
If you can't get rid of the villains in the city, him with the other 4, he's the 10. You have to start popping the other guys to make him weaker. That's amazing. Like, at one point, he was harder to hit than Mysterio or Carnage.
And I also like how one of the schemes specifically deals with the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Of making them even more powerful.
Yeah, +3 to hit him. It's like he would have been a 13 on that one. There's not many times I can pop out 13, especially if it's early on in the game. It's a long playing game.
Right, and Mysterio, his whole Master Strike mechanic, adding cards underneath him,
I like it.
Is seriously just to prolong the game.
Yes.
Which again, that seriously plays up into the whole Mysterio persona.
The illusions here and there, because it's
Exactly.
a Master Strike. You don't get the benefits of I'm going to hit it and it's the top card. It's the Master Strike. I don't get any benefit from it. But one of them was on the end. We had 2 to go, and it said any Master Strike or pick one Master Strike from each player's victory pile. Shuffle it back in. So it was like we just hit him 6 times. Now we're throwing 3 more back in. It's like, oh my goodness, come on, man. I love it though.
Yeah, these were 2 good masterminds that honestly easily take over my favorites.
Yeah.
These are my 2 favorite masterminds out of all the releases.
I mean, I love Loki just because of the Thor aspect with the Asgardians. He will probably always be mine. They need to make him more powerful. These 2 should not be more powerful than, let's say, Doctor Doom or Magneto or even Loki. I think we're going to get a reprint of the villains. In upcoming sets, I could see it. Like, they might have an Asgard set. Fantastic Four, I do not know why they didn't redo Doom. I mean, I know there was only one set before it. They should have done Doom. I mean, just my honest opinion on that one.
I know, I agree completely. So overall, what do you give this as a score?
Personally, because how good the villains were, the heroes with the wall crawl, they weren't bad. They played decent together. I'm gonna give it about a 7.5.
Okay. I definitely like some of your points. Again, what sold this set for me specifically were Carnage and Mysterio as the masterminds. I loved them. I loved their mechanics, and I loved the villain groups. The schemes were okay. The heroes for me, it just seemed like Upper Deck was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, pulling in Spider-Woman, like you mentioned, and Moon Knight. But overall, it is a fun set.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, pick it up if for no other reason, because Carnage and Mysterio are amazing mechanics and make the game very fun.
Yeah, I mean, the heroes, if you mix them up with other, heroes, even the other Spider-Man doesn't get the wall crawl, you mix them up with other ones, they're not that great, but like you're saying, the masterminds make the set.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, as always, for watching. And if you like what you saw, check out multiversenerds.com, and we'll see you soon.